Yeah, you did, girl. Yes, you did. Damn.
Ain't no come ups on the fifth. You ain't come up on the fifth. It was 4 men in the fifth.
Maud, don't put your butthole in the camera. Come over here. Talk to me, dude. Maud. Maud. There's Maud. It's one of our 2 trash cats that we found in the engine bay of a vehicle.
She's not a trash cat.
She's kind of a trash cat.
She's not a trash cat.
She was found in the trash. She's a trash cat. Doesn't mean she's trashy. It just means she was born unto the trash.
So that would mean the price of trash.
I didn't say that. Anyway, the reason I'm wearing these glasses, if you watched the last video, is because they do POV video, and for the purposes of what I'm doing on this car, I don't do a good job of filming the process, like while I build stuff anymore. I don't have the gusto I used to have, because it's kind of a pain in the ass to stop and film and stop and edit. Especially when I'm done and I put the video up and no one watches it. Why? Isn't that not fun? You guys don't like me anymore? Just say it. Just put it in the comments. Say we don't like you anymore and I'll leave. I'm not going anywhere, stupid. So I bought these to help show you guys as I tear this thing apart what I find. And we started on the inside of the car, and by we, I mean myself and the Ray-Ban glasses. Looking like a Temu Clark Kent up in this mug, dog. Right there. Started on the inside of the car and started to unravel. Oh my God! Well, you'll see. Just take a look. Look, if you have kids, if there's children nearby, this is the time to just plug their ears or tell them to leave, because I cuss so much. I use bad words. And the last thing I need is like little Skylar in kindergarten calling his teacher a bitch because he heard it in my video. Started on dumping the wiring out of this thing. I'm trying to be better about recording. It says Pro EFI. So they have well, something in there isn't happy anymore. So that's good. Luckily I don't need that. But this is the jumper harness. Now this is, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but this is the factory harness. And look at that. Look at this. I mean, there's just a lot. There's just so much going on here that needs to be redone and taken down and fixed up. So it's going to be a fun one, but man, I don't even know where to start. This is one of those times where you don't want to just start cutting and ripping stuff out, and because I don't want to have to redo the chassis harness on this thing. So I have to be careful to find out where they've tied into the chassis harness, what is tied into the chassis harness, track all that stuff back. Like just a big loom of Raychem that goes to a Pro EFI. Man, it's going to be a whole thing, but nothing I can't handle. We'll get it back in good sorted order. ASAFP. Alright. Oh my gosh. Oh, am I the dumbest person that's ever lived? Or oh, there's 2 clips. Guys, no one told me. There's 2 clips. Why wouldn't you tell me that? Ugh. See, this is why I don't film everything I do, because who wants to watch me struggle to unhook an ECU? Like, hard pass. Now, this is the funny part. This is the jumper harness. And look at everything that... This is the only part of the factory harness that I'm aware of. This is the jumper harness. With... God only knows what's... This goes into the back of the ECU plug. They just unplugged it. They didn't need it for J2B15 anymore. Man! I don't know what I'm doing, man. I really don't. It's the thing, a lot of people, man, I wish I could do what you do. You absolutely could. No big deal. Just start cutting this stuff out. Man, what a good situation. I can't really complain that much though. I mean, taking the stuff apart's honestly the easy part. It's putting it back together that's going to be fun.
5 hours later.
Jasmine's set up with her craft area. The dogs are furious they're not allowed in here. And I got this stuff pulled out. I got all the harness pulled out. There's still a ton to do. I got to pull the center console and get the rest of this junk. I know there's a momentary switch right there. One here. God only knows what it goes to, but that side of things is okay. Engine bay, you can see I was able to pull the harness through, which this was a giant nightmare just getting this out. And the idea of fixing this versus starting over, I'm leaning more and more towards just, like, this is insane. Why would you ever do that? Like, that's fucking insane. It's a Supra. It's not a Civic. Actually, I treat Civics probably better than I treat the Supra. That, and like this bare wire that's just taped over, like, anyway, that's the whole harness. Like, the entire harness is like that. Shielded wire, 2-wire, I'm guessing that is for a sensor, 3-wire. Yeah, 3 shielded 4-wire. I don't know where that goes. Other side of the engine bay, but I think I'm going to end up gutting the whole harness, pull the whole harness off of it. I'm pulling this turbo off because it's too damn big. The car makes right around, I want to say, here's a dyno graph, also a guy I drew. Let's see. 1189 is what it makes on this turbo. And it's a GT LMNOP 4700R XYZ. So this thing's coming off. Can put a smaller turbo on it so it's more fun and has a better power band. You're not waiting forever to spool it. You're not having to spray a gallon of fuel and 4,000 PSI of nitrous to get it to spool. But I'm going to gut all that stuff. I'm going to pull the turbo off of it. I'm going to get this fuel pressure regulator out of the way. Basically, I'm going to gut the entire engine bay down and make it a camper that's happy. Not a sad camper, but a happy camper is the goal. Went to work on this thing. That inlet pipe is actually pretty tricky. It goes down to a carbon fiber velocity stack in the front bumper. Getting the turbo off wasn't the best thing in the world, though. The compressor cover actually hits the upper water neck, so usually I'll pull the center section, the compressor cover, everything through to the turbine wheel, and just leave the turbine housing on the manifold, and then pull that at the last step. But this thing took a little bit more gusto than that, but we got it out. Everything went okay. All right, so turbocharger's yanked. I think it's a Boost Logic manifold. I can't remember specifically, but I'll probably pull the manifold too, new gasket, clean the engine up a bit. I still have to pull sub harnesses before I can get this whole factory harness back out. And this is smart coil combo that I think it's just the sub harness from Pro EFI, which I actually might be able to repurpose for the Haltech that I'm putting on here, which would be nice because making a sub harness for smart coils, if you've ever done any wiring, it's not fun. It's not the best time in the world, but let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's all it is. But that's cool though. It's at least labeled and stuff. So if there's one main pin at the back, which I'm guessing is going to be this, just hip checking, hip shotting, not hip checking. But get the rest of this thing pulled. Pull the rest of the cold side too. One thing that I noted was this velocity stack that was in the bumper, right? So this came down into this front hole of the bumper right here, and I had no clue that it was there. I just didn't look. And the thing got transported on open transport from California. So one of the cool things was when I pulled that intercooler pipe off, it was just full of water. So that's neat. The good news is the engine sounds great. It doesn't sound like anything's up with that. I don't think it's hydro locked from a little moisture, but definitely glad I caught that now rather than later. Another funny thing is this end of the hose. So you have boost control solenoid. Well, to feed the compressor, to get boost pressure off the compressor for the gates, they just had a vacuum line slipped over this AN fitting with a zip tie. Why not just use a AN fitting and line when you have AN fittings everywhere else? Anyway, that's all there is for that. Is what it is. Our attention on this stuff now. So from what I'm understanding, I didn't really do any research, but it looks like a lot of this is a sub harness or like a harness that's a tag on for the Pro EFI. Like this is clearly factory. Like I thought this was factory because who would use this convoluted? No, corrugated plastic wiring. But it's not factory. Other than OEMs use this stuff. But it's just a tangled mess of stuff. I mean, it's literally everywhere. And I'm not exaggerating by ripping on this stuff and pulling on this stuff. Like, this goes to the back of the fuse box and then comes out to a ground. This is an inline fuse that's not factory that goes underneath this factory piece. This is a I'm guessing purge solenoid. Guessing that's a purge solenoid. And I have another fuel solenoid just dangling down here. What is this? I swear to God, I don't even know what this goes to. Self tappers that are, actually these aren't self tappers. I'll give them some credit. This is an M6 that goes to the factory location. I don't even know if that's a factory. That could have just been whatever. The vacuum hose that I found, this joint, I found it. It's just an open vacuum leak to the intake manifold. It's teed into the intake manifold, and this was just pushed down by the brake booster. So that was cool. That's cool. All right, pulling the harness out is going to require pulling the intake manifold. The amount of stuff that is fished under the intake, the way the injectors are run up through the intake, I knew I just had to get this thing off. I want to get it cleaned up and powder coated and everything anyway, so I might as well just rip that Band-Aid off. But got the intake manifold off, and underneath, like where all the wiring is run, I'll show you exactly what it looks like. All right. So this wraps around the top of the valve cover and then drops down underneath the intake manifold. These are all the injectors and the factory harness. They have these ground wires. It's like maybe 10 gauge wire that's just ran randomly to these studs. You got some coolant seeping there. Broken off wire from this connector. Zip ties holding it. Which I'm not mad at zip ties, but I am mad at the execution here. So, get all this, the whole engine harness I gotta get yanked off. I'm gonna yank it off real good. And we're gonna start fresh, because this is mucho no bueno. And this is what we're left with. So this is the harness that came out. Obviously that's gonna get replaced. You can see everything is a lot more open. There's still a ton of question marks about the way wiring's run. This appears to be factory turn signal relay, maybe, because the wiring runs down into the headlight harness. So I've been torn back and forth on what to do, but I don't think I can leave any of this stuff, which means that it's gonna be engine harness rewire, and also at least front of the chassis is gonna get rewired, because there's just no way I won't sleep at night. But I did get headlight pulled. The other headlight pulled. Whoo! Actually, the other headlight's going to get pulled, if you guys are keeping tabs on me. All right, both headlights out, front bumper out, harness and all the wiring that I needed to rip out is out. And it's about 47 pounds worth of junk. On the inside of the car, the main power wire that ran into the engine bay, that has been pulled. Obviously, you could see it in that bucket. And also the wiring from the battery to the cutoff switch. It's got one of these, I hate these things. You have to have that little, like it's a 90-degree key, and you turn it on and turn it off. It's actually right over here. It's just super, super annoying, because if you lose this, you don't have a battery cutoff anymore. So this is gonna get replaced. These are dumb and I hate them, and I don't wanna use it because it's stupid and it's dumb and it's stupid. But trunk area, all this stuff is gonna get pulled as well and cleaned up, and all this braided hose is gonna get replaced. We're gonna go back through and clean everything up. I'm probably gonna pour 15 the interior, including the cage too. Not a big fan of the red cage. So I'll get that all done. They did cut out the front down part of the down bars of the cage and the halo, just because it was hard to get in and out. You can see they never cut the dash, which is super nice. And I wouldn't cut the dash on this car. So I am glad the dash is all original. And I'm just gonna repaint the cage where they had cut those bars off. No structural damage when they cut the stuff off. So everything's gonna still work like perfect. Hopefully I never have to test the roll cage, let's put it that way. But continuing to get all that stuff pulled, nitrous lines out, a bunch of the BS wiring from the back trunk area, like I said, is out. I gotta pull all the interior stuff out because I'm sure there's a rat's nest under there, and that's what I'm gonna work on, probably off camera. And then the next time you see a video, it'll be continued refresh on all this junk. Shoo, buddy. And this is parts mountain. This is all stuff that pulled off the car, intake manifold, fuel rail, hot side manifold, turbo manifold, turbocharger itself, coil packs, blah, 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 all the cold side stuff, ECU. It has direct port. He told me it had direct port. I just forgot. And direct port's awesome. However, it sucks when you're trying to get an intake manifold off. So this was not fun to pull because this stuff gets in the way of all those lower bolts you can see. So it did take quite a while to get this piece off, and the exhaust manifold was a nightmare to get off, only because if you've ever done a 2J, man, getting to these lower bolts on an aftermarket tubular manifold, it is not fun at all. It's a freaking chore. So that's all done. I'm gonna clean all this stuff up. Like, there's no reason that this can't go back together nice and clean and crisp, and that's the goal. See what we can do with it. But good bones, like I said in the first video, this thing does have good bones. It's a solid boner all the way around. A nice, erect situation. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you, I don't know, maybe next time, possibly. We'll see.